yourself if you happen to be that style. So we're going to start out with the flashlight people over here. Here's our flashlight people. Use a flashlight because if it was really dark in here and you had to find your way out of this church with all its hallways, who would you want to go behind? The person with the flashlight. And the flashlight, I have is just this straight, direct, cuts through the darkness and all that. They are very, the D personality is a driven, determined personality. The flashlight you see is pretty unbendable. You know, it's pretty straight here. And they are able to take a situation, maybe even some chaos, and make sense of it. If they're on a committee, they will be the ones to say, what's the purpose of this committee? Let's make our mission statement. Let's move forward. Let's go, go, go. Follow or get behind me. I'm leading. Let's go. I'm in charge of this class. Let's go. I have some D in me. That's why when I speak, sometimes I take charge. Sometimes I set up a party atmosphere, but then sometimes, don't I? I take charge. Say it's time to everybody be quiet and all that. I have that D side of me. A flashlight person is also very task-driven. Their primary bent is tasks more than people. You give them something to do, they love that. They want to be able to accomplish things. They like achievement and all that. They're a little less inclined, especially a high D, to consider the feelings of people. That's one of their challenges. But they reflect God. Let's say what they reflect God first. His strength, his plan. He's a planner. You know, God has plans, and he's king. And you might laugh at that. Oh, good, I want to be king. But truthfully, a D personality reflects God's authority. A D personality, a flashlight takes authority. And we need some authoritative people in life, don't we? If we didn't have an authoritative person on a committee, we would never get anything done. You need somebody to take charge of that committee, somebody to take charge of that class. Now, a couple of biblical examples of a D personality. Male would be Paul. Paul was a pretty take-charge guy. Would you agree? I mean, he confronted Peter in Galatians. I mean, he just like, you know, you're wrong, buddy. He was right up there, and he wasn't afraid to speak even when he was in prison. And female would probably be Lydia. She was known to be quite a successful businesswoman. She had a whole household of people that she organized and kept, and she urged Paul and his group of people to stay at her house. I mean, the word was urged, like not just, oh, would you please stay at my house? Come on, stay at my house, you know. So Lydia, in order to be successful in business way back then when it was primarily a male-dominated world, she would have to have been a very determined and driven person. Now, tell me what you think some positive traits of the flashlight or D personality would be. Anybody in the room. What's some positive things?
They get stuff done.
They get stuff done. Good. What else? Surely you know somebody in your life that's a D personality too. So think of something good about them. What do you like about them?
Decisive.
Decisive. Yeah, they don't kind of waffle about stuff. They know what they want. One more.
Reliable.
Yeah, because they want to get stuff done and they like to be recognized. So they're going to be. So a D person, given that project, a D student would be all about getting it done. They would be very disciplined. They would not have to be reminded about it because they have this goal and they want to get an A on it or whatever. So they would pretty much lay out their own plan. They probably wouldn't even need the teacher to tell them what to do. They would lay it out themselves. Now, what are some challenges of a D person, do you think, then, or a flashlight? Is Ds sometimes have a hard time relaxing, truly just in having a good time, because they like to accomplish something. That's me. I mean, I get more adrenaline out of accomplishing things on my to-do list than to just, you know, I don't have lots of hobbies sometimes that I thoroughly just get into and enjoy because it's always about accomplishing something. So that's a problem. That's another reason I use the flashlight, because it's not very, you know, it's not relaxing and bendable. It's just kind of stiff sometimes. And the other thing is, a determined, driven person has to be really careful, because if they go at that fast-paced drive for a long, long time, when they do hit an obstacle, they could just really, literally, I mean, hit a wall. They're the kind of person that could really break down and have to really withdraw and heal from that and all that, because they've been go, 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 and so driven in life that they crash. They could really crash into a wall because they don't find, and burnout, they don't find ways to relax and all that. So, now some things that would be a good thing for a D person to do in a church or a job. Here are some suggestions. Somebody who is a manager or administrator. Probably a D personality would rise to that thing to manage a particular project. Some pastors are naturally D personalities because they're take charge and they're okay with telling a whole congregation or elders what needs to happen. Project managers, because they're very disciplined. Committee, a head of a committee, chairperson of a committee, or an event chairperson at a church event. A D person could be very good at that because you can pretty much count on that they will get all those things done on their timeline, and they'll try to get everybody else to do it too. So those are some areas of service that are good for a D. Now worship style might be interesting here, and this may or may not apply to all of you. This is something that I'm newly exploring now a little bit about the idea of worship style, but it seems to me that a D personality, a flashlight, would like some kind of focus for the church service. They like the idea of a certain theme or the pastor following a series. They like that I take notes in my church services. I have a journal, I take notes, and we're working through it. I do not want to miss any. If I miss a church service, I go back and listen to it so that my notebook will still stay precisely every week. We are making progress from point A to point B. Now, at my church, it may take 35 months, but it will still, we are going from A to Z, okay? So a D person's worship style may be, give me a series. I want something I'm going to learn. I want something practical that I can apply to my life. It's not just about feel good, it's doing. What can I do? Now you must be very careful as a D person not to try to please God through your doing, but to accept His love for who you are, and He loves you regardless of your performance, because we're very performance oriented. And so we think we have to do for God. And look what I'm doing for God. I've served Him in this, and I've done this, and I should be rewarded for this, that kind of thing. D people want to be recognized for what they do. They probably like a fairly orderly service, not necessarily that it has to be ritualistic, but somewhat of order so that we can count on what's coming next and that kind of thing. Now, if you have D's in your life, I'm going to talk to these tables because they are the D's. So if you have to interact with the D's, you all can disagree with me, but if they all have to interact with you, here are some strategies for dealing with people like this. Give them choices because they love to be in charge. Okay, so tell them, how about this, this, and this? Even if you're already going to do what you want, give them the choice, make them believe that they're in charge, okay? They love being in charge of making choices. Don't force anything on them, though. They do not want to be told what to do. They want to be asked what to do. So if you have a D husband or a D wife, ask and give them choices. Let them feel the power of being able to make some choices here. Be short and to the point. A D personality does not want the whole story all the way around about why we need to do this or that. They want the bottom line. What do we need to do about this? They're fixers. They love to fix stuff, male or female. They love to just fix it. So don't give them all kinds of details. They're probably not as strong at listening sometimes. So they will tune you out after about 30 seconds. Just give them the bottom line at the top. And then, again, let them make decisions because they do like that powerful feeling of making a decision. Would you agree, Dees?
Yes.
Okay, so we're on a roll, okay? We're on a roll.